Hello friends, welcome to my channel Nadeem Wellness. I'm so happy today we have Dr. Dilip here and Dr. Rama Devi. Both are very eminent doctors in their field. Dr. Dilip is a diabetologist and Dr. Rama Devi is an anti-aging specialist and gynecologist. So we will try to interact with them and try to understand about the wellness of health and fitness and anti-aging. So she is very expert in the area of anti-aging. So welcome Ramadevi Garu. Welcome to the channel. Okay. Just I wanted to ask you few questions. See, everybody change their lifestyle for better lifestyle. So, can you just give us your experience or your tips how to be healthy, how to be active in this moment of time? We are all going through a lot of stress because the businesses are going down. People have so many doubts whether they'll have their jobs or not. So, in this challenging time, how to be happy, how to lead life very exciting, how to do anti-aging. So these are the things, because I'm seeing you from many years, there is no change, you are the same always. So can you just give some your experience or tips how to be anti-aging or how to be fit in life?
Hi to everybody. Actually, you asked me first question. In this situation,
Yes.
how do we?
Yeah.
So actually, human being, we are tuned genetically. Also, we are tuned to get adjusted to the present circumstances.
Right.
We can take any challenge.
Right.
We can live. Otherwise, the human race would have lost long back. So since almost human beings are there on Earth 2.5 million years,
Right.
such calamities worse than this have occurred in the past.
Right.
Still, we are alive, and we have increased our number like anything.
Right.
So it is not a big thing. But only thing, everybody should take everything as a take it easy course.
Right.
Should not take it everything too hard, hard, and start thinking only that.
Hmm.
Actually, we have to change our adverse condition into as an advantageous condition. Like how Narendra Modi told, we have to these circumstances we have to convert for our advantage.
Right.
So try to find out different ways and means how to change it. Because even I am reading another great historian book, Yuval Noah Harari. It's a great historian. He's from Israel, and
Okay.
he is writing in the future. There won't be science and technology, artificial intelligence, bioengineering. All these things will come very fast. So every day we have to upgrade ourselves. We
Right.
cannot just sit with our old knowledge and want to maintain the same thing and lay back. That is not possible in the future. That everybody should understand. So coming to the anti-aging, many people have a mistake that anti-aging means we are going to remain where we are or reverse aging.
Age. Age. Yeah.
No, it is not exactly anti-aging. Is anti-aging what in a practical sense is postpone the inevitable diseases and face the to live younger and happier. What are the steps we can take? So many things, of course, in the digital world now, many people know the many things, but how many people practice it with a determination and with a consistency? That is the problem here. So not that I am going to tell something very new
Yeah.
so that they will learn something. No, everybody, whoever is interested in to live healthy, happy, younger, longer, they should practice it. What all the points everybody knows, make a list, and according to the list, if you keep on following that, you can slow down the aging process.
As
Not
you
that
As you rightly said, there's so much of information about exercise, about nutrition, about many things. The people who practice it every day, they are only going to get the results. So thank you for
Yeah.
you know pointing out that point. Yeah, please carry on.
So I have decided this anti-aging into 6, 7 steps. One, I will take your subject,
Yeah,
exercise,
right.
and second is diet, food, and third is
Stress.
how the sleep patterns, and
Okay.
fourth thinking, how to think and positively. Fifth is about how to take care of skin, how to take care of hair, and what are the things we have to avoid, and what are the supplements you can take, and stem cells, because stem cells is another very important subject, and also the water, because water, our body is made up of almost different parts of our body has got levels of water, but almost on average 80% of our body is with water. So with what water our health build up.
Yeah, yeah. Carry on. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So because you are the team leader, I will go with the exercises.
Yeah, please.
Exercises, most of the time everybody want to go to gym. So gym is very useful for the muscle and joints to strengthen. Actually, in the human body, muscle is the only thing you can build any age.
Right.
But if you keep it, if you don't exercise, like use or lose.
Yeah.
In human body, any organ, you use it or lose it. Suppose if you don't exercise, the muscles will become flabby, and we lose their strength. We lose the power in the muscles. If we lose that, automatically joints also will get affected. Joints, they need strength. Unless muscles are active, joints are also not strength. So both joints and muscles are work in coordination with each other. So many people think of only gym. So gym is one type of an exercise which will be helpful to build up the muscle, to lose that flabbiness. But we need also flexibility. We need many other characters for the muscles. So for that, what I tell everybody is, whatever exercises like various sports, swimming, gym, Pilates, yoga, um, any
Walking.
any any
Simple
any sport,
walking.
walking,
Yeah.
jogging, and pranayama, all these things are there. So what everybody cannot swim, everybody cannot play, and
Yeah.
even in India we don't have so many playgrounds. So if it is available, plan in such a way, some weekly 2 days go to Zumba, 2 days for the gym, 1 day for the swimming, like that we have to divide, so that every part of our internal organs, external organs, and at the same time the brain hormones secretion. Because exercise, many people, many of us will think it is a burden, it is strenuous. So if you play, you will have the pleasant
Yeah.
feeling,
Kick.
and you
Yeah.
you are
Yeah.
not alone, you are
Yeah.
playing with somebody else,
Yes.
opposite, some partner is there.
Yeah.
So that exchange of communication and the pleasure of winning the game, all these things will secrete different kind of hormones. So play is also very very important. You take swimming, so your body floats in the water, body weight is reduced. So because of that, we will have many advantages. So during exercise, what all the hormones are released, starting from the pituitary till the testosterone in the lower part of the organ, all hormones are released during exercise. Many people think it is only muscle, it is only bone, joint, and all. It is not like that. The cortisol is released, adrenaline is released, testosterone is released, estrogen is released, endorphins are released. So almost all hormones are released during exercise. So they have a different role, different regenerative role in our body. That's why everybody, I always tell to my friends and my relatives, you skip the meal, but don't skip your exercise. At least 5 days a week, you must exercise. So even now, many theories are there. Many people need to sit in the office for 8 hours. So you keep a stopwatch for every half an hour. If you get up and walk for 1 minute also, that is going to change your health. So even 1 minute, because the circulation, blood circulation should be there to every part. So if you every half an hour, even if you walk to 1 to 5 minutes, or bend or stretch in the same room, same place, that's going to be very helpful.
Okay.
And nowadays, because of the cell phone, we always look like this.
Yeah.
So that is also not good. So you should not all that will affect our brain. And some people will keep the posture also. Posture also very important. So when people are sitting, they should have a proper back support and sit straight.
Yeah. Please carry on.
Yeah, back support is maintaining the posture is very important. And sitting in the chair also, even just move the head side, front, back, so that this spondylitis, neck pain, all these things will not come.
Okay. Can you tell about the nutrition part? Thank you. You have given a lot of good inputs about exercise, how the body changes. It is a lot of people think exercise only to lose weight. So you have given information. It is not only to lose weight, but to feel good, to feel happy, be active. All your hormones are released for happiness. So thank you for that. Can you just tell about uh, the nutrition part? Why we want to eat, or what kind of food we have to eat?
Dilip can answer. Nadeem,
Okay.
you have alternate. Huh? Okay.
Sure.
The question. So that the monotony will not be there.
Okay. He is not there. I think he has.
No, just left because
Okay.
you are posing continuously the questions.
Okay. So yeah, you can continue. By the time he comes, I'll ask other
You
questions.
can ask Dr. Hari.
Okay. Yeah, Dr. Hari, can you tell about lifestyle management or how to be
Speak
happy?
about the nutrition. My lifestyle I'll speak about.
Okay.
Okay. Nutrition is to nurture.
Yeah.
Is to nurture the body.
Okay.
We don't know what exactly suits to the body. Sometimes we feel that we require more than what body decides or body needs. So from this we have to understand that mind also needs nurturing.
Right.
And there is a saying that it is the flavor of the nutrition, flavor of the diet that is converted into the mind. So you had to fulfill both the body and mind whenever you are consuming the nutrition or any diet. So we all know balanced diet. Some people advocate that we should not have we should have the proteins and fats mainly and no carbohydrate diet. But still, some people and most of the experts suggest that balanced diet constitutes all the three. Okay, and including the vitamins, minerals. Okay,
Yeah.
what I personally feel is if you consciously eat whatever you eat consciously. Do it in such a way that it will be converted. The solids will be converted into the liquids in the mouth, so that you can enjoy the taste of the food. Tongue is there not only to taste but also to tell you what to send it inside. Okay, into
Okay.
you.
Okay.
So when you are conscious, very conscious while you are eating, whether it may be veg or non-veg, or it may be protein or fat, so your body will tell you. Some people they will have allergy to some
Food.
dietary,
Yeah.
some foods. So who will tell about this allergy towards a particular diet? Body has to tell.
Yeah.
So you allow the body to understand which is the right food for you, which is the right diet for you. The same way, second thing is when you are very conscious, you will come to know what to include. See, when I do a practical session on the people who want to get rid of alcohol or smoking, I'll ask them to smoke or take consume alcohol very consciously. Then the body will say whether it is required to you or not. How many pegs are required, when to stop, when to have. So body has a wonderful mechanism. So it will tell you, for example, if you are very, very hungry, it will say, Gurr. If you are full, the stomach will say, brave. That means body signals, we are unable to understand it. Usually, most of the time, while watching the TV, we'll eat, consume the food, and we are not having any mindfulness in what we do. So food is like a devotion. See, when we consider that body is a temple of soul, we should feed it very, very consciously. And second thing is, I said, I said one is conscious eating. Second one is solids must be converted into liquids. And the third one is you should share the food. Most of the time we eat alone. Like when three people are there, only fruits are served to only one person. Okay, and we had to ask Rama Madam's companion or assistant to serve all of us. Okay, everything must be shared. When we share the food, then you can really enjoy the uh, feel of it, taste of it, and the greatness of it. So these are the three must be included, and we all know because you are a fitness trainer, nuts especially nuts nuts, fruits, and the green leafy vegetables. They have more of antioxidants. Even in our ionized water, we find more of these antioxidants. That's why this ionized water, replaces all these stuff when you want to depend more on more on healthy way of nutrition. Okay.
Okay. Now, I just wanted to ask Dr. Ramadevi garu, so how the water is important, and whether as a whole our country we used to drink a lot of water through the lakes in those days, and it used to be a lot of minerals, a lot of health in that. So today we are not getting that kind of water. So what kind of water we had to drink, and how much water we had to drink? Can you just put a light on that?
When human civilization started, people used to live along the water beds, like river beds.
Yes.
So life used to be along river,
Right.
many part of the world.
Yeah, that's how the
Yeah,
civilization started.
yeah. They used to drink the river water.
Yeah.
So they used to be very healthy. Especially in the past, the people used to have a problem only because of many microorganisms like how it is. Otherwise, rest of the diseases were not there. Like the present day, what we are facing, cancer, heart disease, the diabetes, all these problems were not there.
Yes.
Those days, problems were only because of the bacteria, because of the virus.
Yes.
People used to so many famines, so many things have.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. So those days, the water, even I came across one scientist from Japan. They tried to find out people where people are living more than 100 years, physical century. So they also found people who are drinking fresh river water even today, they are living more than 100 years.
Right.
Then those scientists did a research and found what are the qualities in this water. So in this water, they found plenty of sufficient minerals because when it is flowing, calcium, magnesium, chloride, all these things are added. And when it is falling from the height, water is subjected to electrolysis. So when water is subjected to electrolysis, water splits, H2O splits into OH and H. H is the abundant source of antioxidants. So everyone knows we need to take antioxidant food. But in the form of food, the quantity what we take is not sufficient. So we have to take water as an antioxidant. And when the water is falling, the water normally H2O doesn't remain as a one single molecule of water. You take tap water, 15 to 20 H2O molecules put together, they form one cluster. But whereas when the water is falling from the height, the clusters are split into small clusters. Only 4 to 6 molecules become one cluster. So this is water can, and because our body is made up of 80% of water, when we drink that river water, that can flow into even the narrow blood vessels. And because as you age, everyone's capillaries will become narrow, and especially we can notice on the hands and feet, that is the first sign of aging. They become dry. You need to apply moisturizer and everything. That means there is no proper blood circulation to that area. These are visible outside, but inside the body also same thing will happen. So every organ is not getting proper nutrition and oxygen and detoxification. So this, the any water which has got the quality of antioxidant, minerals, microclustering, and alkalinity. Even Ravi Shankar, he every day in his speech, Art of Living Guru, he says, take alkaline water. If you take alkaline water, you will not have disease, because this is a strive in acidic body. So make your body alkaline, either way of food, by way of exercise, or by taking the water which has got all these qualities. I am using one company, Canagin. I am very happy with that because my hands and feet have become very soft and supple now. My eye has become bright, and previously I used to have a redness and burning in my eye before taking that water. But now my eyes are, I don't have that problem, burning or dryness. And I have arthritis also. One leg I have pain, so that is also has come now. So many positive things I have found. Recently, one of my professor, her husband is suffering with cancer. So this water is useful even for the to prevent the cancer, and even people who are suffering with cancer, if they drink this water, their tolerance to the chemotherapy and radiotherapy is much better, and they will recover. And many people are whoever are taking this water, they are very happy, and cancer has come under control.
Dr.
Hari,
Hari,
Dr.
yeah,
Dilip has waited for the question. Okay, you put the
Okay.
question, you invite him. Okay,
okay.
waited for a long time. See, you had to have the alternate questions to the speakers. Of course, your idea is to prepare.
I wanted to welcome Dr. Dilip. He was he was specialist in diabetes and internal medicine. So, doctor, can you explain us about how to make a healthy lifestyle in terms of many areas, nutrition, exercise, and why it is important to manage lifestyle with the medicine to manage the oral diabetes? Can you just explain us?
So that's a good question actually,
Yeah.
because diabetes patients, half of the treatment actually lies in prevention.
Yes.
So there are people who are pre-diabetic, and then there are diabetic patients. And there are cut-off values actually, fasting levels, HbA1c levels, all these levels. This is the guideline actually.
Is Dr. Dilip voice is clear?
No, it's not so clear. Yeah. Dr. Dilip, please go ahead.
So there is a lot of role for preventive medicine in diseases like diabetes, for example, or even various metabolic disorders that we're all plagued with, like hypertension, dyslipidemia, that is cholesterol,
Yeah.
blood pressure, and mainly sugar. So preventive aspects, as in how, if we actually introspect and reflect, especially for diabetes, if you see, diet and exercise form the two main pillars of the three. Third pillar being treatment, just exercise and diet. Now, with those two, you can actually minimize the amount of medicines or the number of medicines required to get fasting and post-lunch in control. And like discussed, there are three subsets mainly: the non-diabetics, then the pre-diabetics, and then diabetics as well. So there is a clear-cut, levels, blood levels of sugar. Either fasting sugar being 100 to 126 becomes pre-diabetic. Then HbA1c 5.8 to 6.5 becomes pre-diabetic. Then anything to the left of it, there is less than 5.8 HbA1c is non-diabetic, and beyond 6.5 is diabetic. So why are we actually focused on this classification? Because these are interchangeable over a period of time with good lifestyle habits. Like I said, diet and exercise, we can actually push a pre-diabetic patient to becoming non-diabetic, and likewise a diabetic patient to even become pre-diabetic. So pre-diabetic patients are also at a lot of risk, cardiovascular risk in the later part of their life. Meaning, when we say cardiovascular risk, we're talking about heart attacks, then even heart failure, the rhythm disturbances, and various other such problems. So now, if you actually focus on what can we do preventively to minimize somebody's risk of either diabetes or pre-diabetes.
See,
So if you take up,
a
yeah,
lot of
please go
people
ahead.
think only taking medication will actually help them to fight with the diabetes. So I want you to explain what is the importance of exercise, diet, water, sleep, and everything.
So, like we just discussed, there are three pillars of treatment for diabetes.
Yes.
So, one pillar being diet, like the kind of diet one takes. The other pillar being exercise, and the third pillar being treatment. That is actually medicines.
Yeah.
So, it is not just medication alone that will help you control your sugars. So, I mean, one third each, I would say, so 33% each contribute to the controlling of sugars. So, especially coming to diet, basically eating low glycemic index foods. So, as we know, glycemic index is nothing but a reflection of it's a number basically that tells you how fast food is going to be assimilated. So, if you are eating foods that take a lot longer time to basically to get the sugars up, then they are good foods. They are like for example complex carbohydrates. They take longer time. The intestinal transit time is more, which is why sugars don't have a spike. There won't be a spike in sugar. There will just be a plateau.
Right.
So that is what glycemic index actually means. So we recommend the low glycemic index foods, complex carbohydrate foods, and of course there's a lot of role for vegetables, salads, then overall low calorie food, and then nuts, fruits and nuts. Of course, fruits is a very big question mark for diabetes patients. So the blanket dictum, if one has to give, that will be that people can take fruits that are raw or not so ripe. So any fruit that is ripe will actually have very high glucose and galactose content, because fructose is actually a combination of glucose and galactose. So both of these will contribute to the spike in sugar. So people have a misconception thinking fruits can be eaten, but what kind of fruits, if we classify, it's just the raw and unripe fruits that can be taken by a diabetic. And likewise, a lot of salads need to be had. Broccoli, tomato, carrot, lettuce, onions, etc. And of course, the soy milk. Soy plays a really important role when it comes to controlling sugar levels, and it has various other roles as well. It has antioxidant benefits, and so soya milk, then even the regular milk, dairy, the milk and curd, especially if you're taking 2% that is toned milk, then it is definitely it is recommended, because people have this fear. Full fat milk definitely is not recommended, but milk and milk products, including curd, they play a very important role. They curb hunger basically. So if people have hunger, what happens is they try to snack, they crave, and they try to eat whatever is available. So milk and dairy products will keep the cravings, and they curb the cravings, which is how we can actually maintain a plateau of sugar.
I wanted to
So
ask you one question. Like
yes,
most of our body is water.
right.
So how important water is in our body? What kind of water we should take, and how it is going to help us in fighting some diseases and make us more, healthy and all
Yeah.
that.
It's a very good question. Actually, in fact, there's a therapy, we call it water therapy. Just by drinking water, we can actually improve various lifestyle disorders.
Okay.
So, hydration, is the key there. Nowadays, there's a research. There's a new found, light is being thrown on a new approach. That is, if you actually increase the pH of water, then to make it a little more alkaline, say to the degree of 8.59 pH, and then water is actually rich in antioxidants. So these two characteristics, any water that has good antioxidant properties and an increased pH, there are things such kind of water available in the market. In fact, from last 4-5 years in India and other countries, but in Japan mainly, it has been there for more than 30-40 years. So people who consume lots of water, at least 4 to 5 liters, predominantly alkaline and water that is rich in antioxidants, that has a ORP, the oxidation reduction potential in the minus category, then definitely there is a theory the chronic diseases may actually be halted, or you can probably, in some cases, you can even reverse the chronic disease progression. For example, in metabolic disorders like diabetes, if you see, there are anecdotal evidences that people could actually minimize their amount of insulin required per day, and even BP, for example, hypertension, because the stress level, is theoretically, I mean, if you see, there's a hypothesis that stress levels come down when you take highly antioxidant-rich water. So in that way, even the amount of BP medicines, the number of medicines, and even the dose for hypertension has also come down. So definitely there is a drive towards increasing your pH. Take a lot of alkaline water, and then drink lots of antioxidant-rich water. This is actually going to first importantly hydrate yourself really well, and the pH is known to actually this combination of higher pH and antioxidant water is known to combat various chronic diseases, like even CKD, CLD, that is kidney disease, liver disease, heart disease, and various other, like a plethora of various other diseases as well, which have chronic inflammation as a pillar for their etiopathogenesis.
So I wanted to ask one question to Dr. Rama.
Yeah.
And a lot of people like now that like WHO, they were saying to avoid the bottled water or RO water. So some of the people says even alkaline water more is not good for health. So can you, both of you, can you explain, because this is a big doubt as an ordinary person like me who doesn't have any knowledge, or we want to educate them. So some people like WHO says you don't drink RO water or bottled water because there is no minerals in that, and some people says too much of alkaline is not good for health. So I want to educate people. So Dr. Rama, can you explain about that? Dr. Ramadevi or Dr. Dilip, anybody? You can.
In this world,
Yeah.
Law of averages.
Right. Hello.
For anything.
No, your internet connection.
మరి రావాలి ఈ వీడియో.
ఏమో సార్, ఆ వీడియో నాకు అయితే కనిపిస్తుంది ఇక్కడ.
అవునా? అట్లయితే మీరు స్నాప్ షాట్ తీసుకోండి ఒకటి.
మీరు కనిపించడలే మాకు.
నా వీడియో అయితే నాకు కనిపిస్తుంది మేడం ఇక్కడ. మరి ప్రాబ్లం ఏమైందో.
మేమంతా కనిపిస్తున్నామా?
మీరు కనిపిస్తున్నారు.
అయితే స్నాప్ షాట్ తీసుకోండి ఒకటి మీరు.
ఓకే సార్.
తీసుకున్నారా? అందరు ఉన్నది?
ఒక్క నిమిషం. రమాదేవి మేడం కనిపించట్లే నాకు.
నేను యాడ్ చేస్తాను. ఓకే
సార్.
రైట్. ఓకే, తీసుకున్నారు కాబట్టి దిలీప్ ఉన్నారు ఇక్కడ. మేమంతా అనుకుంటున్నాం ఒక 1 year లో వీ వాంట్ టు బికమ్ 682-3. మాకు ఏం సజెషన్ చేస్తారు మీరు?
చేద్దాం సార్.
ఎలా చేస్తాం?
ఒకటి సార్, ఇప్పుడు మీరందరూ కూడా అంటే మెడికల్ గా మీకు మంచి నాలెడ్జ్ ఉంది. అయితే ఏంటంటే గ్రౌండ్ లో వర్క్ చేసే సోల్జర్స్ కావాలి. అది ఇంపార్టెంట్ అన్నమాట. అది ఎట్లా చేస్తారు అనేది మీరు చూడాలి.
మీరు రీప్రొడ్యూస్